What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today's video is about, is the Turo market about to crash? We're going to go over some of the good things and bad things that are coming up on Turo and some of the things you need to be aware of so you could stay ahead of the curve, because there are going to be a lot of people that are going to drop off or go out of business. But I'll go into more of that later. But before I do, if you could do me a favor and gently squeeze the like button, it helps me find more amazing people like yourselves that enjoy automotive content. Also, if you consider subscribing, I post great stuff like this all the time. And let's get into the video. Now, the big question of the day is the Turo market starting to crash? I've gotten multiple messages from people saying, I can't rent my car's not going, for as much money as what it used to. And we're gonna go over some of the reasons why that is and some of the things you need to stay ahead of so this way you don't fall behind. Now, one of the things we're gonna be talking about is the economy. Now, we all know that everybody's got their stimulus money. We got all these stimulus ballers out there spending their money like they normally do. So you have people that normally make, let's say, $1,800 a month are now making $3,000, $4,000 a month with the stimulus. Well, as you guys know, that stuff ends in September. So the prices and the demand are going to drop dramatically after that. So I don't believe, honestly, that this is a crash. This is just going to be like a market correction where everything's going to go back to what it normally is. Because I had a conversation with one of our students yesterday, and he was like upset that his 2016 Altima is no longer getting $65 a day. They're trying to give it to him for 45 or 50. And I told him that like almost a year and a half ago, I was running that exact same car for only $25 to $35 a day. That right now the prices are inflated. Don't get used to this. Some of the things we teach you here and in the class is to make sure that you get a baseline of what you actually need to make and don't get set up on what Turo pays you. Because everybody gets infatuated with the number of, well, my car rents for $65 a day, that's what my car is worth. But if we tell you that all you need to do is rent your car for, let's say, $40 a day for the next 15 days, and that'll cover your bills and give you let's say, a $500 profit at the end of the month, you structure your business that way. You don't basically run it off the numbers of what Turo's getting to you, And so as we start to see the economy slow down, we start seeing the stimulus ballers basically burnt out their money. It's slowly going away. Plus, a lot of stuff has opened up since the pandemic is over. Now, this is a good thing. The downfall is a lot of these people are basically blowing their wads. They've spent all their money. I've seen so many people here in Las Vegas that are just shopping like crazy, overpaying for cars. I mean, we have literally garbage cars going for $100 a day here. It's insane. But that's just the particular market of where we're at. Now you start talking about other markets, because some of these people that we've been talking to are like in the Midwest and in the South and in the Northeast, and they're getting upset because, they were booming. They were renting cars nonstop, and all of a sudden now it's starting to slow down. And one of the other things is, we're getting towards, the middle or end of summer, and then also as well as tourist season or travel time. So a lot of people have basically been traveling all over the place. They kind of blew their wad already. People are going back to school. Traveling is slowing down. So therefore, Turo is going to start slowing down as well. We talk a lot about, learning your local markets. So if you're like in the Midwest or something like that, you need to pay attention, because here in Vegas, my numbers won't work. That's why a lot of times when people ask me, well, give me more of what you do, it won't work in your state. That's why I don't tell you exactly everything I do, because you need to learn your local market. And so what I mean by that is, like Vegas, we're always booming, whether it's Christmas, whether it's springtime, whether it's summer. There's people coming here all the time to get drunk and do crazy stuff. So, if you're in the Midwest or something like that, I tell everybody, you never base your business book off of, your summer months or your travel months. You need to base your book of business off of your actual winter and fall months. This is when you're going to see a decline in sales or a decline in rentals, and you need to see what your baseline is, what you're going to make, how often are your cars rented out. Because, a lot of people got super excited about Turo and jumped on the bandwagon, and now they're like, well, I bought 17 cars. And they're booming in the summer, but if you're in an area where it's seasonal, we talk about this in a few of my other videos, and you have winter coming and you have snow, your sales are going to drop off dramatically. So you need to counter that with maybe luxury SUVs, doing some sort of special, or make sure that you could rent your cars out for a very cheap, affordable price to at least break even. That's some of the stuff that we teach you, not, like I said, not only here, but on the class, is to actually do that, to don't set yourself up for failure with buying a bunch of cars. Now, one of the other reasons why I believe that the market is going to go through a little bit of a correction is, we just talked about it, a lot of people are getting on the platform. Now, it's a good thing because they're out of these, hundreds of thousands of people that are getting on there, there's only going to be a handful that are going to stay on the platform. They're only going to treat it like a business. There's a lot of people right now that are putting their cars up for rent just because they have no job, they have nowhere to go, because they got their free stimulus money, they're staying at home, making it rain. Once that money dries up, they're going to be forced to go back to work. So right from there, there's going to be a lot of cars coming off the platform. Second reason is a lot of cars are going to be kicked off the platform because Turo is starting to go through and start selecting professional and quality type of people, because we talked about one of the things of why I believe a lot of people fail in Turo, and that's cancellations. I booked a car for this weekend and the guy canceled on me. Didn't give me a reason why, just canceled. I was like, is the car broken? Can I borrow it? Can I use it? Do you have another car? Guy didn't even reply back, so whatever. So now he gets a blemish against his account. I rented another one, same thing. Guy canceled on me. So Turo are going to be taking these things into account, and you're going to see they're going to start kicking people off the platform. If you haven't heard already, there's a lot of people little by little getting kicked off for these particular reasons, because they want to make sure that out of these thousands of people that are joining, they're going to whittle it down to a few good hundred. So this way we have quality hosts, we have quality cars, and stuff like that. So this way it offsets the cost. Now, one of the other reasons why that we think that the market's going to correct is right now we're in a kind of like an inflated bubble. The rental car demand is the highest it's ever been, and used car prices is the highest it's ever been. So people can't buy used cars, and people can't rent cars because there's pretty much already rented out. Now, once that supply starts going up, when your cars get rented less and less, and also the demand, because people are not going to be traveling, other stuff, you're going to see these prices start to little by little go down. Don't be afraid, like I said, work your numbers, figure out what your overhead is, your cost, figure in your time, depreciation, miles, stuff like that, maintenance, and then divide that between 17 days, and that'll give you your average of what you need to rent your vehicle out for. Now, once you have that, you need to start making sure that you stay on point. So if you're getting, let's say, 75 bucks for your car, but all you need is 45, 50 bucks to break even, I'm not telling you to lower your car, but be more accessible to actually doing that. And if you can do auto pricing on Turo, I highly recommend it. You're not giving your car away, it's just helping that car being pushed even more. Turo likes that. Like I said, it's like an algorithm pushes you up to the top. So, like I said, simple supply and demand. You're going to see this dramatically drop off very soon. So it's not all doom and gloom. There are some good things that are coming up here for Turo. But before I get into that, I just want to remind you guys that, like I said, diversification is key. I love Turo. Turo's a great platform if you're just getting started and you want to play around with it and you want to lower your overhead. But I always recommend getting a rental car license. And this is one of the reasons why, is if for some reason there's a major market correction and after you do your numbers and you figure out you can't survive just off of what Turo's getting you, you need to have that diversification of actually renting out to the general public, to doing weekly rentals, to doing daily rentals, hourly rentals, renting cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, trailers, box trucks, commercial vehicles, whatever you want. It's very, very important. I have a lot of people asking me for stuff on the class. We actually are going to be raising the price of the class here soon because we're going to be adding a lot more stuff onto it. But for the next, I think it's 40 days, we're going to keep it down at where we're at now. So I strongly recommend you sign up for one of our classes. It's the rental car course. We'll leave a link in the description below. It's very good. Even if you have a rental car business, this will teach you some of the things that I do that'll save you money, as well as some of the brokers and vendors that I use to get deals on like my software, how to look up insurance, how insurance works, because a lot of people still to this day, I can't make an insurance video because there's so many variables, there's so many policies and stuff like that. I give you a very good breakdown of first, secondary, and supplemental insurance, which is something you're going to need to know if you get in the rental car business. So it's a great class. I love the feedback. We got a little over, I think, 150 people so far that have been through the course. Nothing but positive reviews, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to be doing some more online classes. We're going to be doing some weekly coaching as well. So I'm setting that up right now. I'm just trying to get a crew together so this way I can do this, because right now I'm doing a lot of one-on-one consultations. I like to give you direct attention so this way I can answer your specific questions. But pretty soon we're going to do group coaching, so it's a little bit more affordable. Plus we can do a much bigger group at one time. I think I can have like 100 people on in every single phone call, which is really cool. So we're going to try to be working on that as well. So let's get back into, like I said, diversification. You need to get your rental car license if you've been doing this for several months and you see the money going. you want to get your LLC, you want to set up your business license, and then we want to get you lines of credit so you can grow and build your business. Now, one of the reasons why we talk about lines of credit all the time is, like we just talked about, the slow season. You know, there's a lot of companies that make a lot of money during the summer and don't make a lot during the winter. Now, so one of the reasons why we build up your lines of credit is so this way, you know, if you have major damages to your cars, you can pull money out and you can pay that. Or during the slow time, you know, what I usually tell people is, so you don't stress, let's say you have a $100,000 line of credit, we pull out maybe, let's say, $25,000 and we pay all your cars for, you know, the next several months. So this way you don't have to worry about, you know, any bills till, let's say, February. So now you can just focus on building your business, making one monthly payment instead of like 10, 15 monthly payments, and whatever money you make from your rental cars, you make sure you divvy it up the same way. Percentage goes to the loan to pay it off, percentage goes to, you know, depreciation, maintenance, and stuff like that. And this way it gives you a chance to breathe. And also, you can only get these lines of credit if you're an actual business. If you're doing this on Turo, the banks don't care. They don't consider you a real business. I've had it a bunch of times. We have a guy here in Vegas that makes, I think, like 60, 70 grand a month with Turo here. Brags about it, shows it on his phone all the time, but he can't even go into a bank and get a loan because they're gonna be like, oh, that's a cash loan, that's a personal loan, and they give him sky high interest. So if you want a fixed, good rate loan and you want to build corporate credit, you need to have a business in place. It's very, very important. Plus, you need the tax benefits because remember, as a person, you're going to be taxed as a person. You can't get as much deductions where, you know, when you get your business license, you can do mileage, depreciation, equipment, marketing. I mean, there's just a bajillion things. You talk to your CPA, you could save a lot of money. So if you're worried about paying taxes or you actually owe back taxes, if you set one of these rental car things up, there's so many things you can write off. It's really, really good for you. So that's why I believe that, like I said, some of the market's going to change a little bit. Some of the things are going to go away, but we want to make sure that we have a safety net for you guys so you don't rely just on Turo. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about hire car because people seem to forget hire car, like they sleep on it. Hire car is just as great as app as Turo. Yes, they charge a little bit more, but you can do weekly rentals and it's designed for Postmates, Uber Eats, Lyft, Uber drivers, stuff like that. So if you have a car that's maybe not as clean or maybe has a little bit more miles, you can actually rent that on hire car, you know, to a Postmate driver or Uber driver, let them, you know, drive the hell out of it, and it doesn't really matter. They're not picking up people, they're dropping off stuff. So the year and the make and the model doesn't matter as much as it does on Turo. So if you have an older car and it doesn't qualify for Turo, make sure you put on hire car. But once again, the reason why I'm telling you hire car is so you can diversify yourself. I don't want you to put all your eggs in one basket. I see a lot of these YouTube channels like, oh, Turo's the shit. You know, you got to do Turo, 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 Turo. Hey, Turo's great. I love Turo. But I will never give all my money to one particular business because you are literally doomed to fail. If they kick you off the platform or they just disappear tomorrow, you know, stuff like that happens. Now, in my course is only about a year old. And I talked about a few rental car companies and a few applications that were on there. They're already gone. In 1 year, some of these rental applications that we were using are gone. You know, now there's a new one called Share. I haven't had messed with them too much, but I actually have a meeting with them next week here in Las Vegas, and I'm going to go talk to them about it and see. But there's going to be more and more competition with Turo. You know, hire car, like I said, a lot of people sleep on that one. But you know, we want to make sure that, you know, a market correction or even if the market crashes in Turo, you're not left behind. You're not left in the dust. You need to make sure, like I said, you diversify yourself. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything, please smash the like button. I truly appreciate it. Also, if you consider subscribing, I post great stuff like this all the time. And if also, if you can do me a huge favor and follow me on Instagram at automotive.life. Make sure to leave a comment in the section below if you have any questions, comments, anything else. If you even want to put toast, I buy that for $1. You want to tell me your best your mama joke? Hey, anything matters to me because if you guys look, I answer every single one myself. I think we had over 300 comments in our last video. And if you look, I answered every single one myself, none of my staff, just me. It's very important for me to make sure that I answer the questions you guys need and stuff like that. Now, answering questions, I have no problem with. You know, hey, Lucky, do you like Ford or Chevy? Hey, I like Chevy, this is why, you know, or I like Ford, this is why. If you say, hey, I got a business plan, I'm in Texas, and I want to know what cars to buy and how to get lines of credit and stuff like that, That's not a question. That's more of like a business plan. If you want anything like that, or it's multiple questions or more stuff in detail, I strongly recommend you set up a consultation call. If you go to the email down below, it's lucky@automotive.life. Just email us, say, hey, I'd like to book a 1-hour consultation. We'll send you a PayPal invoice, you pay it, we put you on the schedule, and then you have a one-on-one conversation with me for 1 hour. None of my staff, once again, just myself, answering all your questions, business plans, going over some of the stuff. And this is for, you know, car dealerships, rental car companies, if you want to buy cars, flip cars, auto brokers, auto repair, auto body shops. If you want to flip cars, I can tell you some of the cool things about that. Or if you just want to talk to me in general, hey, you know, I love sports, I love people, you know, unless you're a Patriots fan, then I'm not that big a fan of you. But anyways, like I said, make sure you message us down below, put any comments. I truly appreciate it, and we'll see you next video.